Up, everybody? You have just tuned in to Real Labs on Real Radio 104.1. The voice you're hearing today, I'm in the big chair. That's right, James Young, comedian extraordinaire, and the host of the Lowdown on Xfinity Comcast. Shameless plug. I need the money. All right, I'm joined in virtual studio by some good friends of mine. First up, the man that helped start all of this we call Real Labs. Give it up for Miguel Cologne Jr. What's up, baby? How you feel?
What's up, man? Good. I haven't been on with you guys for a while.
I know.
Man.
It's been a minute. I
It's
forgot
been a
what
minute,
you look like,
man.
man.
Yeah, man. Ugly. You know? Ugly.
I still got love for you, man. I still got love for you. And of course, we have our partner in crime, the man. We love him. He does everything under the sun. He is a lawyer. He is a comic book creator. He's also a comedian. He can practice law in over 18 states, 3 planets, and 2 galaxies. Y'all give it up for my man, Mr. Jeff Kaufman, in the building. Jeff, how you doing, man?
I'm just glad to be here because I know Ken's back at Lake Nona again.
I see Jeff practice law at Tatooine. He's standing. Yeah. He was standing in front of the journey. He's like, "Hasa misa kukutao, nasa bibahawa." Tigger costume.
I don't get paid unless you get paid.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Now, Your Honor, clearly, my client, he said these are not the droids you're looking for.
Yeah, but let me ask you, officers, a real quick question. Did you pull over R2-D2 because he's Latino? Oh, I see. And it wasn't because C-3PO's gay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Your Honor, do we really need to do this?
I love that I'm not the only one that thinks R2-D2 was a Latino.
Yeah. C-3PO, everybody knows C-3PO gay.
Yeah, he gay, bro.
Gay role model, living it up.
Yeah,
great job.
Like
first of all, I think C-3PO is a really good gay role model.
Yeah.
He's educated.
Yes, he
right?
is.
You need C-3PO for some stuff.
Bro, he
right?
can speak languages in 3 galaxies. Bro.
Fresh dude. He's part of the whole revolution going on and everything that. Mm-hmm. You know, he got his quirks. Yeah, but whatever, man. You know. And then R2-D2's his homeboy. You know, like that's his straight homeboy. They grew up together. He's like, whatever, man. I've known our whole lives.
Come on, y'all know.
I'm not. He's like, I'm not your father, C-3PO. I love you, dog. You my homeboy for life. You'll never, C-3PO, you'll never have to explain yourself to no one.
Nobody. That's it.
But I do explain to everybody when they meet you, hey, dog, he gay. Right, chill out. I won't fight none of y'all. That's my ride or die brother. Y'all the ones with problems.
You know, gay. Come on, man. You know all that gold on? Come on, bro.
Yeah. Looking good and fresh. 1 silver leg.
Yeah.
Dog, who's fly like that? Who's fly like that? Who knew? Everybody's like, why don't you go all gold? He's like, no, I'm have 1 silver leg. Why not? Don't worry, player. Don't worry, player.
Okay. Hey, you still coming to brunch?
Yeah. Vader gonna be there.
He's wearing all black. Anyway.
Yeah. I got a boot like a Mamma Mia. We're doing this.
Yeah.
Boot like a Mamma Mia. Now, I want to ask you a question, Jeff, because I always like to mention, man, you do have a big heart, man. We give you hell, but you are a good person through and through.
Yeah, a little bit.
So
a little bit.
You are, man. You just took 500 people to the movies. With those odds, somebody had to put out. Like, I'm just asking, man.
It was me.
You take 500 people to a movie. Somebody has to kiss you.
Well, the thing is the hurricane came right down the pipe.
It sure did.
For 4 days, it was like, well, we're going to keep this movie open. They said, well, it's going to hit in the morning, so it should clear by the night. But you're still going, I got 500 people expecting this theater open for the premiere of Black Panther. And I said, I told the guy at the theater, listen, you got generators? I don't care. People are going to come. They're going to want to do it. All 500 people showed up.
They sure did.
It was amazing. And, you know, it was strange because I forget that Black Panther is such a powerful thing. I've said this before. You cannot get rid of this Black Panther character.
No.
I don't care who you're trying to make happy or anything else like that. Yes, the actor died. He was a great guy. But you cannot get rid of it because the amount of love people have for these characters is brutal.
Yes.
And I would say that 75% of the people that came were African American.
I believe that.
It was.
So the movie started a little later?
No.
It means you could bring your own chicken.
Yeah.
All you heard was soda cans opening.
It's okay for you guys. I can't.
They
make
sell
it
fountain drinks here.
But they knew everything. They knew the comic books. I mean, most time people come to the movies. Oh, I know the movies. They knew what happened in the comic books because I can hear them talking.
So this is like this was a real group of fans of Black Panther too.
Oh yeah, yes, huge fan. They're going, oh my god, that and I'm not spoiling it, but that happened here. And the minute they see one thing, they knew exactly what comic book from it was there. I heard them talking. I was like, going,
that's the dopest energy when you go to see like a Marvel movie, when you're in there with people that are like, oh my god, that's Mjolnir, oh my, because you get that vibe and everybody's having. I went and saw I think I saw Avengers Endgame the Endgame a couple weeks after it came out, and I lost the vibe. Like the people weren't
dead theater.
Dead theater.
Yeah. I saw it the first day it came out, and it was nothing but applause, crying and cheering and laughing. Like
Submariner said a line that he uses in the comic books.
Yes.
And the place was crazy.
Yes.
I mean, and I go, wait a minute. I know that line. How do you all know that line? And they must
We're all
read comic books.
Yes, absolutely. And
I was blown away.
I'm trying not to spoil anything, but it was well done. I think the direction they went with certain characters, I understand it. It makes sense. I love the movie. I don't know how you felt about it, Jeff. I don't know if you liked it or not, but I loved it. I had a great time. Cried 3 different times like a man.
Yeah,
it was a long.
First time was after you bought all the popcorn and drinks. You're like $76.
Yeah, it was a long film, but I'm one of those guys. I can go to the movies all day. Like I don't mind a long film. Entertain me and I'm all good. So I don't mind the fact that it's almost 3 hours long.
It wears me. What happens to me though is when I'm in charge of the movie, when I'm sitting here making sure everyone's got their tickets, everything else. That's believe it or not, at 7:00 in the morning, I had depositions in Tennessee, and I was sitting in my office for 7 straight hours doing depositions. And at 4:00, it was like, okay, you got to write payroll, and now you got to run to the movie theater. Yeah. And I was on like a 10, 11-hour day. And when you're just trying to get everyone in the theater, making sure everyone's happy and everything else, like by the time you sit down, you're just glad everyone's in the theater.
Yeah, you are.
So it's a little hard for me. So I'm taking Jacob tomorrow night to the Artagon. So we got these great seats at the Artagon, and I'm going to take him there, and I'm going to get to enjoy the movie instead of, being charged of the movie. So
once again, a very underutilized, beautiful theater, the Artagon. If
that's a terrible theater. Don't go.
Oh, that's true. That's right. Theater. That's right. Yeah, horrible. Don't you ever go there. Oh man.
Enough of you come so it won't close.
That's right. Yeah. Please don't let it close.
See, Miguel, you missed the show. We actually discussed our favorite theaters.
Last the Artagon was cool, man. I remember.
It's beautiful.
I remember I went and saw back when it was just the Oak Ridge movie theater back in the day. I remember I went and saw the second X-Men there, and it was full of kids from Oak Ridge. So after the movie, I was like, we gotta get out of here now.
No, I don't think
they redid the whole theater.
Yeah.
I mean, they had the reclining seats. The seats go up. I mean, and
it's all
nobody's
leather.
There.
Yeah,
and nobody's there. So, and you get to see the movies, and the sound is ridiculous. Everything's perfect. So yeah, I love the Artagon.
So I'm glad it worked out for you, Jeff. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it. I had some car issues with my wife's car. Once we got one problem fixed at Firestone, we left, and then the check engine light came on. So it was off the Volkswagen. So yeah, I had a day. I had an adventure myself, man. So
was the sound when the hurricane came in, did it wake your house up like it woke my? I live like I'm the Jeffersons. I'm living up, and when the wind hits the windows, there's a sound like
it shakes your whole being, right?
Yeah. So it's kind of a wake.
Knock on wood, man. Kissimmee didn't get it this time. Like we got it last time bad. Roads were flooded, things were just closed down because they couldn't open because things were damaged. But no, we didn't get it this time. But you guys are pretty safe though. You just got a lot of wind, right? That's it.
Yeah. No, everything stayed on. Now I was wondering about Miguel, your place out there. How did
nothing bad, but just every branch is down. Because I live over here like right off of Washington Avenue area where there's tons of oak trees and trees hanging and stuff. And I got thin old windows, so you're waiting for it to just crack. But I mean, luckily, man, nothing. I think I lost power the first time. I lost power for like 9 hours. During this last one, I didn't lose any power.
Yeah.
But you just every time, like you love these hanging trees, you love all these branches until it's a storm, and then you're like, my God, nothing but projectiles.
That's it. That's it. Welcome to Florida. It's always great until it's not.
Yeah.
Until it's not. Now, I wanted to ask you a quick question. We got about 4 minutes, Miguel. I don't know if you can talk about it in length or what you can say, but I got to bring up the fact that you guys do something interesting for the veterans where you work, man.
Oh yeah.
I definitely got to mention that, man. You work at the Sausage Castle.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Bro. Shout out to Mike Busey. We all know him. We all love him. He runs the Sausage Castle out there. Miguel, you are the right-hand man. You keep everything going. And you guys like to give back. You guys are givers, man. You are.
We do, man. We honestly do, man. Yeah,
it's true. Me and Jay talk about it all the time. People think that it's just debauchery. It's not. You guys actually do a lot of good for the community and people who are less fortunate, bro.
During COVID, I'll tell you this. During COVID, like the heat of COVID, like right after we had just got back from Colombia, and we shut down for, like, we didn't shut down, but when things started to shut down for a while, lots of people came by like, oh, my job's, closed, and we literally, I mean, we spent months finding places to get people hours. Not enough sometimes. I'll be honest, man. Not enough sometimes.
Amen.
But we would be like, hey, I got a guy. He needs 2 guys. And people would swing by and be like, is it Mike? Miguel, is there any way? And I'd be like, yeah, I got a guy. He needs 2 guys. You're going to be shoveling horse manure. It's not a good job. But you're going to get paid. You'll get paid some extra hours. And we were all around trying to find people extra hours. And like I said, sometimes it wasn't enough. So it's heartbreaking. And it's heartbreaking when somebody's mad at you because you can't get them more money. Like, you don't know them well, but they're just angry because they're scared and hurt. But we took care of lots of people in the neighborhood because we never closed down. We never let anybody go. We never cut anybody's hours during it. And we figured out ways, man.
That's amazing that you could do that. Yeah. Because you guys have a lot of people on payroll doing stuff. And when you guys shut down, you were still helping them. That had to hemorrhage. Like, money had to be hemorrhaging from you guys.
Yeah. I mean, we just lost a lot of money, but our whole thing was, if we can lose money, like I took pay cuts during it and everything to make sure that the guys who needed to live for what they were making could live. Because at the end of the day, man, and this is what Mike and me said, this is straight up from Mike Busey. He was like, I don't care if we have to lose all our luxury. He's like, I don't want to be the person who didn't take care of my people.
Amen.
That was it. He's just like, I don't take it. What's up, Jeff? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this happened. A lot of law firms laid off people. They cut hours. They did all this stuff. They stopped their advertising with the radio stations. I mean, they went into full preservation mode. And I knew my people needed to survive. And I think that whole year, Craig and I took a beating because we didn't scale back. But I was going, wait a minute, these people work for me. And understand this. People are going to be angry no matter what. And it doesn't make them good or bad. Some people are terrible people who can't appreciate what you do. And some people, are just in bad moods. But, in the end, I can't control the way somebody feels, but I can control my own actions. So when we threw out all this money, we said, no hours lost, no nothing. In fact, we gave raises during the period of time because people were hurting badly because of their spouses were out of work. Things were bad. So we really did go out of our way to take care of something. Now, I have very low turnover in my office because of, just trying to be decent to the people I work for. It doesn't mean that I can't get mad every once in a while, but it just means that I normally put the people who make things possible for me above my own feelings. And I think that's what you have to do when you run a business, more than just, I'm going to make a lot of money.
It's the road less traveled. And I know your people appreciate the fact you did it, but even what Miguel did and what you did, Jeff, people aren't doing that. But so on behalf of the people you helped, thank you. Because I know they felt a certain type of way when you guys did it for them. I know they did, man.
Good things happen when you put out good stuff.
I believe in karma, bro. But when we get back, I want Miguel to tell me something.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about how they really give back when it comes to veterans at the Sausage Castle. Don't go anywhere, people. We'll be right back right here. Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. Welcome back, everybody. That's right. You are still listening to Real Laughs right here on Real Radio 104.1. I am James John, joined in virtual studio with Mr. Jeff Kaufman from Kaufman and Lynn and the Under Oath podcast, as well as Miguel Colon Jr. That's right. Now, Miguel, we were just talking about the fact that you do so much as far as at the Sausage Castle. You guys give back to the community, but there's a very special thing that you guys try to do when it comes to honoring our veterans on Veterans Day that just passed. And I want to talk about this and be as delicate as we possibly can.
Don't be a coward.
You ain't the one who's going to get the bar complaint. You can say whatever you want.
So let's talk about how you guys choose to celebrate Veterans Day for the veterans, and you invite them to come out and have themselves a good time. I mean, you actually do.
So this was the 11th annual Veterans Day party that we do
So
at
this
the
the 11th year.
Yeah, but it started out the first year the Veterans Day event was 11 years ago. Mike Busey broke, living in a walk-in closet in his Sausage Castle 7, just barely scraping by, but having like a wild party house. And he would go online and find all these veterans that followed him on MySpace, and he would max out his credit card ordering pizzas and sending them to barracks. And he would literally send the guy. Sometimes he would send the guys his credit card number and information, and be like, because the pizza place wouldn't deliver if the phone number wasn't coming. This is like, the early or mid 2000s. If the phone number didn't come from a local place, they wouldn't deliver a pizza for you. So he would send out pictures of his credit card, write down the information. It got misused by guys lots of times, and he would just send out pizzas to everybody in these barracks, order pizzas everywhere, max out his card. He had like $1,000 limit on his only credit card, and the only time he would ever max it out was during Veterans Day. Wow. And then he would max it out and then figure out ways. And then sometimes people would be like, hey, here's $50, man, buy some vets some pizza. So he'd throw that to pay off his car, whatever he could. And that's how Mike Busey's Veterans Day event started 11 years ago. And then it moved on to bigger and bigger events, parties at the house. And how it would work was he would get all the food he could from anywhere, all the beer, anything we could get thrown together so these veterans could have a good time. Nice. Then it kind of became one year, I think this was 6 years ago, we took everybody out to Medieval Times, and we loaded up the bus. We took everybody out to Medieval Times. And that was the year that Veterans Day took a little turn into a new area. And that was because there were a couple porn actresses that hit us up, and they said, hey, we'd like to do something to honor the vets. And we were like, what do you got? You want to donate, blah, blah. They're like, we'd like to donate our services. And we were like, what kind of services? And they were like, those kind of services. And we were like, okay. So cut to what the Veterans Day event is now. The 11th annual Mike Busey's Veterans Day party. Free food, free drinks for vets, free haircuts. We have people from the VA there who don't work for the VA, but they're people who specialize in helping you figure out VA claims. We have people who come from we have people who come from agencies that give you prosthetics. Basically, prosthetics all have a lifetime, and you don't know this, but you get your prosthetic, and they do tell you, hey, this is only a 6 year or 10. I'm making up numbers, guys, because I don't know the numbers, but they'll tell you you might need to get service. These guys come over there, they check out your prosthetics, and they say, I know for free I could get you these new screws, I could get you these new springs. I know a doctor who will recalibrate this, because any of the ones that open, like if you got a prosthetic hand that opens, that has to be recalibrated. And it's almost like you think of with like breast implants. You get them and you know that they're only good for a certain amount of time, but most people keep them going longer than they're supposed to. And that's the same thing with a lot of prosthetics. So we have guys over there calibrating your prosthetics, working with you, getting new ones. We have people who sit there, and there's offices that and in fact, Jeff, you probably know some law firms that have people who do this. They help people figure out okay, so you've got 10 years to use your GI Bill, but this is an exemption you can get. This is this. You did this. You did this. So we have all this. We have people there from like THC gummy companies that are helping people out. We have a veterans organization, 22 a day swings by, and that is for 22 veterans a day take their lives. There's an organization that has this thing called Call Your Battle. Call Your Battle is if you're thinking about killing yourself, why don't you call one of your homeboys and tell them, your battle buddy, and tell them what you're going to do.
Almost like a sponsor.
Yeah, and they're like, see what they say about it, Yeah. So we have this all going. A big part of it, too, is getting the veteran community together to talk to each other, hang out. These are veterans from the Cold War who, I'll tell you this much, Cold War vets sometimes feel a sadness because they aren't, people will say thank you for your service, and then they don't really realize what these guys were doing. And like Jeff will tell you, there was tons of deployments during the Cold War. Tons of deployments that people don't think about.
Hold on. The issue people have over it, so I don't know if you're aware of it, the issue people have is you didn't get thanked for your service before Iraq.
Right.
Anybody in beforehand, people, they treated you badly. When I say badly, you'd walk to the airport. Nobody would say, "Hey, thank you." Nobody would do anything, and you didn't want to be thanked, but you also didn't want to get the dirty face. You didn't want somebody to go, "What did you do? Why are you in the service?"
You just wanted to be able to exist like everybody else without any kind of animosity.
So anybody who served prior to the Iraq War, they take it a little differently. We don't like stand. All the veterans stand up. A lot of us, Joe. I'm good. I'm happy where I'm at.
Yeah. So the big part of it is making it communal, but like I said, cut to nowadays, there are porn actresses who come to this event and offer free services to any vet. And I mean any vet, man. I mean, I'm sitting there like any vet, male or female.
But you have to be a real vet. You can't come in there. What's your name, sir?
I'm going to tell you where you
don't dog tags say goofy on them. No.
You don't want to steal valor at a veterans event. Because you're going to get called out real quick. We have people every now and then who hit us up for stuff. But yeah, man, I mean, so honestly, what do we call it? We call it the church that serves beer. The beer is to get you in there. It's the gimmick. But the real thing is once you're in there, there's tons of things there to help. Because we get a lot of guys, man. Here's the thing. People have this misconception about the veteran community. They think what down and out vet means. Like they think that people are down and out vets. They think there's a lot of homelessness like that. There's a lot of that too. But you know what? There's a lot of, man. There's a lot of people who don't want to ask for help because they just don't want to seem weak. And I'm not just talking about things as heavy as suicide. I mean things as much as like loans. They don't know. And so when you get a bunch of vets together and another guy's like, bro, I use this agency. They were able to help me get a loan and this. It takes away that whole. You're not asking for a handout, bro.
No.
You're asking for some of the benefits for what you did already. These are your benefits already. And so you mix that in with free BJs, And so,
how
the Lord's work.
How can that ever be a bad thing?
How? You know how it could be a bad thing?
How?
You put Busey on the back cover of the weekly with you, and then you're answering bar complaints for 2 years,
man.
That's listen. I was like this woman, and I know it was a woman because I could tell by the writing. She was so offended about Mike Busey, and you're promoting Mike Busey, and you're doing this. I said I had Mike Busey on my show because he was a character. He's
a local Orlando character. Yeah,
he definitely is.
They're going, well, he's a celebrity. I'm like, listen, I'm probably the same level of celebrity as Mike is sometimes. There are bigger people I've had on my show that I had on my back cover that you don't have a problem with. You just have a problem because you don't like what Mike does. And that's fine. But, writing bar complaints and saying I'm a terrible attorney because I had him on my show. I was like, this is
just, man, tell me why you don't think veterans should get the bees. Tell me right now why they should be all held up and backed up.
Yeah.
And it's not for everybody. And the thing is too, it's an event that has and I mean, we've been on Vice for it. We've been on Broadleaf for it. I mean, Elite Daily. It's been covered by like 19 different media organizations, hugely. The Young Turks did a whole special on it. And the main thing about it is just using it as a way to get more sponsors for these vets. Because on this one, man, we shell out a lot for this. We donate a lot for this. Lots of people donate on this. And it's just about having a good time event. But really, the key to it all is, man, making sure you got a whole veteran community kicking it together and just talking. Talking about stuff, man, and having a good time.
So, again, shout out to Mike Busey, man. Shout out to you, Miguel. What you guys are doing is helping out people.
Doing the Lord's work, man. I mean,
you are, bro.
I get it, guys. I get it. Bro. I'm divine.
I'd give you a white collar.
Yeah.
I come to you for all my spiritual needs.
Hey, brother, you are absolved. Okay.
Oh, definitely. Thank you, man. I definitely mean that. Hey, real quick, guys. Just want to. I know this is not the biggest news in the world, and no one really cares, but just want to let you know, my wife is out here looking to lease a new car, not buy one. She wants to lease it. So if there's any car guys out there, I've been trying to look for a decent lease. Guys, leases are insane right now. I don't know if you guys knew this, because there's no cars. The leases are like chips, 400, 500, no chips and everything, bro. So I'm looking. If you guys know somebody, a dude with a new car, ready to lease it. We got money. We want to spend it, but I just don't want to get hit over the head. So I'm just putting it out there.
She must be pressing you hard for you to just come with this,
bro. Man, look at you.
I'm like, yo, he's getting for the middle of the show to be like, hey, just don't throw this news segment out here. I need a car lease.
I'm gonna tell you.
He woke up this morning hearing about it. That's how
I'm gonna tell you.
He didn't even get out of bed.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. anything that has to do with a Latina mama's kids is going to be important, and she's going to make sure it's important to you. Here's what's going on. First hurricane, my son Isaiah, he had flood damage, so they had to total the whole car. So James gave my son my car, and I say I gave him my car because my wife said I'm going to give him my car while he doesn't have one. So me and her been sharing a car. You ever shared a car with a woman? Just asking real quick.
Nope.
Oh, bro.
And not going to do it.
Miguel,
sharing a car with anyone is horrible. It's horrible.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
No, they move the seat up. You ever get in the car and my big ass doesn't fit in there? And I don't. Actually, I always put it back once I'm in the car. I don't like. I'm not a smart. I don't like pull the seat back before I get it. So I like grab my Buddha ass in the car and try to sit there, and then I'm like trying to organize it afterwards. Not doing it.
Stuff everywhere that I don't need as a man, but I'll just leave it at that. So so what's going on right now is
mirror change. I can't handle that. I don't want to screw with my rear view mirror. Don't be screwing, because they do stuff in that mirror. I only use it to see.
Right, because she needs the mirror. She needs the mirror to apply makeup and stuff like that too. It's used more, so it sometimes gets left at that tint, that angle.
Bro, they don't put it on while the cars. They drive and do that, right? Y'all ever seen that? Bro, I'm looking at my wife like, you have 8 mirrors at home. You have the makeup mirror with the light and stuff.
I'm watching them put makeup on while they're driving, and I'm eating a rib sandwich, smoking a blunt. That's irresponsible. You driving? That's irresponsible. Woo, these ribs are hot. These ribs are hot. I tell you what, everybody's eating in the car, but every now and then, as a fat dude, I've done. I had pho one time, and I was like, "Am I doing this?
Did not
am I doing
have
this like chopsticks?" I'm like, "Am I doing this?"
Driving with his knee. That's how you do it.
I'm like, I'm gonna kill somebody. I'm gonna kill somebody. I'm gonna get an accident. They're gonna be nothing but ramen all over me, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, it just came out of nowhere." I got a chopstick through my eye. He just came out of nowhere.
Did you get hit by a son?
I'll be honest. I say this for real. In my late 20s, I used to eat and drive. I definitely text and drive. That's horrible. I don't do any of that stuff now, man, because I really do got a fear of, and this is my thing, I really do got a fear of like ruining somebody's life. And not even as much mine, which is even more, but I really got a fear of like, I'm going to ruin somebody's life because I had to text back James a funny meme that he doesn't need to see. Like nobody's that excited to get a text back. You don't need to eat and drive. But I'll tell you much in my late 20s, man, I'm glad I never hurt anybody, because I was like, gotta get to work, because I was working bartending gigs. So I was like, gotta hurry up and get to work. So let me eat this lasagna in the car.
Lasagna?
Oh, it's hot. Oh, it's hot.
You got the whole pan with a oven mitt. This is fine. Ooh,
drinking and driving, like, hey, what is that? A cutting board. We're having mojitos. I gotta get the lime and mint ready.
Oh my god. I will tell you, man, the dumb things I did as a kid, I shouldn't be here with y'all right now. Like, I shouldn't.
Have you guys? Is there one moment that you realize it's almost like a break in the timeline, because you're like, I 100% should have died?
Yes.
And I'll tell you mine, guys, and this is a true story.
Don't go anywhere. When we get back, Miguel's going to tell us the time he almost bit it and he shouldn't be here. Y'all don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right here on Real Laughs 104.1. Back, everybody. That's right. You are still tuned in to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. Got to remind you guys, if you want to listen to all of our past episodes, all you have to do is download the iHeart app. You'll find Real Laughs, and there you'll go. And don't forget, you can also catch us on Spotify and iTunes. And right now, if you want to see these faces that go along with these smooth, velvety voices, you can go to YouTube, look up Real Laughs. Please subscribe, like, comment, share all the hilarity that you hear. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Now, before we were on break, we were talking a little bit about times in your life where you should have died. Times in your life where you shouldn't be here, and by the grace of God or some kind of protective guardian angel, you are still among us. And Miguel, you said you had a time that you can remember, you're like, man, I should have died.
Yeah, I almost feel like I said, it's like a break in the timeline. Like I feel like there's a timeline where Miguel died there, and there's a timeline where Miguel didn't die, and it was I would say 2004. I used to have this Lincoln Continental. I had this '99 Lincoln Continental, beautiful white car, beautiful big long V8. Love that car. And I was coming back from UCF. My boys Brian and James, they lived over there, and I used to go party with them all the time. And
So
I was
where did
just
you live
driving
at
back.
the time?
I lived over in Hunters Creek. So
You
I'm driving.
had a ride. Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
ride.
And it was one of those nights where I was like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and I was like, I'm gonna go home. I didn't want, like we didn't party hard, like party in, and we just hung out all the time. We were watching The Wire, hanging out, doing stuff like that. And I remember I was like, I'm gonna go home. I kind of want to be home. I hadn't been home in a couple of days. Remember when you were younger and you would have that? I haven't been home in a couple of days.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me head home. And I was driving home. I was driving on Curry Ford. I was coming back on Curry Ford, and as I was driving home, I watched a car jump the median.
What?
Come right at me. I couldn't stop really. I hit the brakes and they swerved. And guys, their rear bumper ended up scratching a line on my front bumper because we passed so quick each other. And they just kept driving. And I stopped and they just drove away. But I watched those headlights come right at me, and we were going good enough speed. We're probably going 45 each of us. And I watched those headlights come right at me, and I hit the brakes, and it wasn't enough because they were just cruising, and they just hopped the median right over to me, turned, and their bumper, I remember thinking that they had like a Grand Marquis, like an old squared body Grand Marquis, or maybe a Caprice. Because I used to know, this is dumb too, when I was younger, I used to know the shape of all headlights. You remember that? You used to know the shape of headlights, that's this car, that's this car.
We played that game. We played that game with a cop. Yeah.
Yeah. And their bumper just nicked mine as they drove off. And I watched those headlights. I watched you couldn't see the driver or the silhouette of anybody. All you could see was the headlights. Yeah. But I watched the headlights get so close at that speed. And I was like, damn, like when I stopped the car, I was just there for a minute, like, what? Like there was nothing, yeah. And so I mean, like I always feel like from that point, I was like, there's a timeline where we just went straight at each other, Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bro, you are lucky to be alive, dude.
Yeah, man, and those guys are lucky too. I mean, we could have both just died,
Ooh, and they just came into your lane and just kept driving.
And without, like, it wasn't even like they were. I really feel they were drunk because it wasn't like an excitable. They were just like, oops, hopped over. Yeah. I do know another one that's not as like I was gonna die, but was just incredibly stupid. Me and my boy EJ were goddamn, we were tumbling around.
The fact you stopped, it said,
God, yeah. We were out in the woods shooting a pistol. We were young. We were like 16, and we were practicing tumbling and shooting. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. But that was like our whole thing. We were like, check it out, bro. I'm going to tumble and then pop up and shoot.
And you were actually shooting.
Yeah, nothing happened, but it was the dumbest.
You have too many rounds. That's when you do that, when you have too many bullets.
Yeah, it was just like, this is the dumb, because we were like, what else you want to do? I was like, in the movies when they do that tumble, pop up, he was like, shh, you're speaking to my heart, And then how do you tumble, guys? You don't tumble with your arm out.
No.
You tumble with your arm in.
Yes, with the gun.
You're idiots, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Miguel. Woo, bro.
My tumbles were sick, though.
All right, yeah. You could have been an after-school special, bro.
The chalupas.
Yeah. Both. Chalupa gun.
I'm going to tell you, man, the time I almost died. I've heard people doing this, but I never thought it could actually happen to me. And let me explain real quick.
Yeah.
This was when Michelle I think she was pregnant with our fourth kid. I was working night and day. I had 3 different jobs, guys. That's when I worked at Disney and Universal.
Oh, so you're tired all the time.
Bro, I was working at, let's say Disney at 6 o'clock in the morning till 6 at night. Just working 12 hours a day, 5 to 6 to 7 days a week. And then on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday nights, I was also working at Universal. So what was going on was for a period of 5 years straight, I was working every single day. There wasn't a day I wasn't working. And my mind at some point and my body just shut down. Like I was younger, so I could go. But this one night, you know how you slap yourself when you're driving, you feel a little tired, like, man, I got this. You'll wind the window down, you'll put some water on your face, you'll do everything in your power. Turn the radio up. I could not stay awake, guys. I was almost home. I was driving to Poinciana because that's where I lived at the time, and I was on Poinciana Boulevard. Now, have you ever driven on that road at night coming from Disney? It is pitch black, it's dark, and the road's winding. And guys, I don't remember when I fell asleep, but I did, and woke up. Apparently, there's a straightaway right before you get to Pleasant Hill. You're on Poinciana Boulevard, and I fell asleep on that straightaway, and apparently the car just started to slow down naturally. I didn't keep my foot on the brake. I didn't even swerve. I kept the wheel straight.
Like a man?
Had to be like a man, like for a quarter mile. And what happened was the road naturally curved and there was bushes. My car just slowly rolled into the bush. And I woke up. I woke up and I was like, what the hell? I thought I would wreck or something. No, I was just slowly had crept into the bush. I woke up and I had like maybe 3 miles to go and I got home safely. Bro, I thought
Yeah.
I thought I had went through something. I thought I had hit something. I was terrified because I've never truly fallen asleep at the wheel. That was my first and last time doing it, bro. But it was crazy. It scared the actual ish out of me. But
yeah. Fall asleep out of the wheel, man. I mean, I don't know the numbers, but it's got to be a big problem, you know?
Bro. Woo! Yeah. So I thought I was going to die. Yeah. So 5 years, bro. I was a zombie. I didn't know what was going on in life, but I made it. Here I am.
That's a lot of working.
Bro, it was crazy. But knock on wood, the kids turned out.
How old were the kids when you were working like that?
They were small. They were small, man.
Were all of them born?
They were all, I'm thinking at first when I started the story, I thought my wife was pregnant, but no, she wasn't. It was when the kids were they had to be probably like, let's say 7, 6, 5, and 4.
What, so that's their age gap, 7, 6, 5, 4, like basically
a year apart. Yeah.
Do you ever, as a father of so many sons, do you ever tell a story to one son? They're like, "That wasn't me, Dad."
Oh yeah,
that was so.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Dad, that was Devin, not me. Are you sure? Yeah. How do you know? Because Devin just said it with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, you ever do that thing? Well, no, you don't do that thing because you don't have kids. But your parents ever do the thing when you were little? They were trying to get the attention of one of the kids, your siblings, and they go down the list until they can. Oh yeah, that's your name.
So listen, here's the deal. My mom and my family a lot of times, like my household name is actually Mike. Mikey, you know, that's what they call me in the house. Nowhere else but Mikey in the house, you know, when I was a little kid mostly, you know. So whenever my mom yelled at any of our siblings, her first would always be like, Mikey. And it's like, I mean, Trisha, because I was always the one getting in trouble. Mikey would always come out anytime it was somebody getting yelled at. I mean, what the hell did I do? She's like, sorry. She's like, it's force of habit. Yeah.
No, yeah.
My dad did it, and he did it all the time. He would screw up my name all the time, and he would like introduce me to people with my.
Oh, wow!
And he goes, yeah, this is my son John, and my dad would turn around. I go, it's Jeff.
Yeah,
don't you ask me, boy.
I would have to tell the person who just introduced me what my name was, and he just looked. He goes, it happens, and you know, I get it happens.
No, my mom, it shouldn't happen, but it does. Like I give my mom credit. I used to be like, why don't she remember certain things about me? As a father now, I totally get it. Like my mom would always screw up me and my sister's birthday. Like she'd always like, James, your birthday's on this, right? I'm like, no, that's Jennifer. Are you sure? Yeah,
don't sass me, boy.
So I totally get it, Mom. It ain't your fault, man. When you're a parent, your mind is mush. Okay.
You know what my dad does now? He confuses us with the names of his dogs.
Wow.
He will, because it's whoever you talk to the most. And now he has the dogs in the house. He'll be like, Zoe, Miguel. Like, and then,
really, Dad. Really?
I forgot too. My dad's dog. He has 2 dogs now, and Lucy is his white boxer. And he used to have a white boxer before Lucy, whose name was Zoe. And they're almost interchangeable. That's why I say dogs are not your kids. Because if any of you lost a kid, you would not go adopt a kid who kind of looks like your kid. But people do that with dogs all the time. And you wouldn't give your new kid your old kid stuff. Like here's the blanket Tommy died on. You know, like. But my dad. He's got Lucy now, and she looks just like Zoe did. And sometimes he just calls her Zoe, and I'm like, "That's not her name." He's like, "Yeah." You know,
does the dog?
We all do it. Oh, the dog just looks like whatever. Ice, I want that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Oh my God, man, that's funny. By
I
the way,
screw up. I screw up with that all the time. Like my partner's wife, I always screw up her name because
damn.
her name's Priscilla, and I call her Patricia.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
Oh, I get him
As
in
long
so
as
much
he
trouble.
doesn't screw it up.
Oh, he gets
Yeah.
mad. He gets mad. You got to apologize to her. I said, really? You know.
Listen,
And
man,
he
me and
said
Trisha are
to me, he goes, she was offended. Did you find that funny? I said, we've been together 26 years. You know what I find funny. Why are we apologizing now? You knew
First
what
of
you were
all,
gonna do
Lynn,
26
you my
years
baby
ago.
first.
Yeah.
Get on my lap. Let's figure this out.
I know. I know more what you eat than she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys spend more time together than you do anyone else, man.
Yeah, like 6,000 meals. I
Yeah.
worked it out one time. 6,000 lunches. That's a lot.
You guys have had together?
Yeah,
Makes
yeah,
sense.
we we got an argument over pizza one time, and she was telling me he went off, and she goes, I said, well, we can order the pizza now. She goes, well, you don't know what Craig. I said, yeah, Craig likes pepperoni and sausage, and she goes, no, he doesn't. He likes this. I said, listen, unless things change in 25 years, this is what he eats. And she got mad at me. And Craig comes out, and she goes, baby, what do you like on your pizza? He goes, pepperoni and sausage. She goes, that's the first time I've ever heard that. And yeah,
because you don't listen, Priscilla, Patricia. He comes to me at night. Who does he come to when you're not there? Me at night. I hold him and I tell him, listen, we'll be together one day, but we don't have time for each other.
Yeah,
Stick with
I got in
Priscilla,
trouble.
Trisha.
I'm the work husband. Come on.
Yeah.
You are. Real quick,
break.
guys, we got a minute and about 20 seconds left, man. I just want to give you guys the opportunity to let all these wonderful people know where you guys will be this weekend. Where are you going to be, Jeff Kaufman?
Thursday night, I'm doing bike night in Deltona at the Buzzards Roost. And then Friday, I think I'm going to go with you to go see
Jay Farrow. There we
Farrow.
go, man. Very nice. We're going to go support that young man. Miguel, what you got going on this weekend?
This weekend, November 19th, I will be at Coyote Ugly hosting the Electric Rodeo, which is their first mechanical bull bikini contest. And then the 18th, I'm going to go check out Jay Farrell, but I'm also going to be at the Apopka VFW celebrating the belated Marine Corps birthday with my father and the rest of Central Florida Marines.
Very nice, man. Salute. Want to thank all you guys as always for listening to Real Last right here on Real Radio 104.1. Don't forget to go follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And don't forget, you also can see these faces now on YouTube. Please comment, like, and subscribe. On behalf of myself, Mr. James John, Mr. Miguel Colon Jr., and Mr. Jeff Kaufman, thank you guys for always listening. Y'all take care. Be safe from one another. Take your ass to bed.